As it is the first Thursday of the month, it is once again time for the Force Wipe, and the December update is coming along with it. So let me show you guys what changed this time around. One of the biggest changes coming to the game this month are the tech trees being introduced for the 3 workbenches. These have come to replace experiments inside workbenches, and you can access them by opening your workbench. Each tech tree contains all items from that tier arranged in clusters that are somewhat related to each other. You can learn how to craft items from the tech tree by clicking unlock if you have enough scrap, which means if you have the amount of scrap that would be required to research said item, as researching an item and getting it from the tech tree costs the exact same amount of scrap. You can start learning items in the tech tree from the top down, but keep in mind that you can only learn items if you have them connected to the top of the tech tree with at least one route. So for example, you can learn the weapon laser sights blueprint if you know the blueprint for both the MP5 and the reinforced glass window, but you can't learn the bolt action rifles blueprint if you only know the assault rifles blueprint. When looking at an item in the tech tree, apart from being able to see the cost of researching the item, you can also see the stats of said item and its short description, just like in the crafting menu. Also keep in mind that unlike when researching an item, learning it in the tech tree will instantly allow you to craft it and will not create a blueprint that you can give to others. On screen now are the scrap costs of a few commonly used items when unlocking them on the shortest route from the top of the tech tree. Keep in mind that these numbers do not include the cost of crafting the workbenches. There were 2 major changes to item tiers. The garage door is now a tier 2 item instead of tier 1, and the high external stone gate is now a tier 2 item instead of tier 3. On screen now, I'll quickly scroll through the 3 tech trees, and if you're interested, feel free to pause the video. Another change related to blueprints is that they no longer drop from barrels and crates at all. The prices for boats and horses were reduced. Saddles only cost 75, small boats only cost 125, and rahibs only cost 300 scrap. A small amount of horses and boats are also once again spawning out in the wild. Another change related to boats is the ability to pick kayaks up with a hammer, which will take 25% of its health, and paddles can now be crafted without a workbench. The cost of kayaks was also reduced. Supply drops also got a new model this month, and along with it, the loot table of supply drops was also reworked. So you should be finding better guns and armor and more raiding supplies than before. And speaking of loot reworks, crates from the patrol helicopter and the Bradley APC were also reworked to drop less junk. Along with this update also came a lot of balance changes to a lot of items. As there are way too many of these to list in a short video, I'm going to be listing only the most important ones, but if you're interested in all the changes, feel free to check out the dev blog. Hazmat suits now have durability and will break after around 30 shots from an AK. They can be repaired for cloth and high quality metal, and the cost to repair a fully broken hazmat suit is 108 cloth and 2 high quality metal. The deploy time for rocket launchers was raised, so having multiple loaded rocket launchers is no longer beneficial. Chainsaws now use 75% less fuel and are guaranteed to start after the 3rd attempt. Tool cupboards now craft in half the time. The crafting costs of most electrical items was changed from high quality metal to metal fragments. Solar panels and medium and large batteries now also cost some tech trash to craft. Medkits now provide 10 instant health and are cheaper to craft. And the damage of high explosive grenades was significantly reduced. The maximum damage to a fully naked player with a direct hit is 90. Apart from these changes, the crafting costs and times for a lot of items was changed, which in most cases means reduced. And the protections for quite a few items of clothing were also changed. And finally, as 2 minor changes, radiation was added to the floodlight towers at the launch site, and the safe zones of both the large barn and the ranch were slightly reduced in size. I hope this video helped you, and if it did, consider leaving a like and subscribing. If you really enjoy my content, you can join my Discord server and chat with me, or you can consider becoming one of my patrons on patreon.com/thememishgamer, or you can click the join button next to the subscribe button to become a channel member. I would like to thank Bothered Nickel for being my patron, and thank you guys so much for helping me reach over 7,375 subscribers.